All right, so let's get into looking over the syllabus together. The syllabus can be found in the files folder in this course, or it can also be found on this page. So the syllabus is always as it is right now. It might be due to changes throughout the semester. And what that means is usually if I do need to change anything, it will be due dates later on. But we just know that to be flexible with the syllabus, nothing as far as the types of papers you will be writing or anything like that will be changing. So it is a really good guideline to have. So let's get started. Like I introduced in my introduction video, I'm Larissa Kelly. Here you can find my email address. I am available to you all whenever you need me. And my policy is to get back to you within 24 hours via email during the weekdays and 48 hours via email on the weekends. But I usually typically get back to students quicker than that. So please just feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, especially early on this week. If anything is unclear, because there is a lot that goes on in this course, please shoot me an email. I'd be more than happy to discuss any of these issues with you. So my office hours are Thursdays from 3 to 5 on the 7th floor of the School of Education Human Development office in the Lawrence Street Center building. If you don't know where that is, I can give you some directions. But I also am available by appointment via Zoom. And if you haven't used Zoom before yet, I can definitely help you with a tutorial through that. But it is kind of like a means of Skype where we can talk to each other without meeting actually in person. So it's really awesome. And then moving along, you guys definitely need to go through and read some of this more in detail than how I'm covering it. But there is definitely a lot here that will be telling us what exactly we're going to be covering in the course, what the course objectives are, and what you can expect to know and learn by the end of this course. So as we scroll through, definitely take a look at these and kind of read more in detail. And then there is a whole piece in here about the type of critical thinking and analysis that we do in this class. So one of the main goals and objectives in this class is to really increase your skills, not only in critical thinking and analysis, but in also writing. So we are writing heavy in the HDFR discipline. And, you know, if you haven't written a lot before, especially in APA formatting, that's okay. We all start somewhere, and this is a great class to kind of get you used to that kind of research academic writing. So like I said, read through this, look at the learning outcomes. We do have 2 required texts for this class. So we have Gardner and Rogoff, and there's multiple editions of Gardner. This is the edition I personally have. It's the 5th edition, so you can get this edition or newer. I would definitely recommend for this class. And this is the book that we will primarily be working with. This is the theories, more of a theories-based book. It's a nice, easy read. It's not too big. It is like a traditional text, but it reads really easily, and I've noticed most students have enjoyed it very much in the past. The other book that we will be utilizing is by Rogoff. And this book we kind of use more as supplemental to the course, meaning I won't always be covering it every week, but it is important for you to keep up with and skim because it will be covered on parts of your exam. And it's important to note that your exams are completely open book because you will be taking them at home, and I actually encourage students to use their books in their notes during their exams. I don't think this is material that needs to be memorized, but more testing if you are grasping the overall concepts and the take-home ideas that this course really provides. We will also have some supplemental scholarly journal articles that I'll be reading out through the semester, and I will be providing those, so you won't have to worry about looking them up or anything like that. So moving along, more learning objectives. see. Of course, for this class, you have to have reliable computer use since we are doing all of our work online. The standard and complete policy guidelines here. This is in every syllabus at CU Denver. Accommodation for students with disabilities. If you work with the disability office or feel like you need to work with the disability office, please reach out and do that as soon as possible so I can work to best accommodate you. I have accommodated many students in the past. It's worked out really well as long as we have really good communication with each other. Academic honesty. So this is kind of our paragraph about plagiarism and everything that goes along that. If you have any questions about plagiarism, please reach out to me. I hate to see students commit plagiarism on either one of their papers. It's not fun for you or fun for me. So please, if you aren't sure about the plagiarism guidelines, go here and read the code of conduct. It's very straightforward. One thing that students don't always realize is self-plagiarism is a thing. So if you have questions about that, please do reach out to me. Also, I will be covering more about this when we actually get to talking about the papers you'll be writing. So let's keep going, get to the good stuff. Okay, so class participation. So a big portion of your grade, 50 points of your grade, comes from class participation. And since we won't be meeting in person, all of our class participation is online. So I like to try and keep things interesting, and I don't have all of your class participation being from just discussions online. Instead, we do have lectures that we will meet up for via Zoom that you will be able to sign up for. And we probably will do that at least once, if not twice, throughout the semester. I have small quizzes incorporated throughout the semester. Sometimes I'll have you comment on movies, just different things to keep the class participation interesting and not get too bland and boring. I want, this class to not be so much a chore, but a place where you can really come and learn about new ideas. So, so we'll get throughout the semester, but there'll be a lot of small point opportunities that in the end will amount to your 50 points of the class participation grade. Moving on. Course requirements as far as exams. We do have 3 exams in this class. They are all 60 points each, amounting to 180 points total. These exams will be true or false, multiple choice, short essay questions, and will cover materials in the text, the class discussions, readings, any lectures that I've posted. So kind of, the gist of what has been covered in the course thus far. To go along with that, like I said, it is open note, open book. The only thing that you cannot do is you cannot work with somebody else if you know someone else in the class and work together on the exam, because we want to see your own personal work, not the same work duplicated. So that's the only rule with that. We do have a service learning project for this class, and this is usually something that the students really enjoy. Since we are a global-based class, we really encourage our students to get out there and maybe experience some other cultures or find a way to participate in your community that maybe you haven't before. We ask for students participate in a minimum of 15 hours of community service hours. And this is open to, whatever you want to do, whatever population you want to serve. We do ask that it's a human population. So, for example, working at a dog shelter or volunteering at a dog shelter would not count. And we'll kind of get into that more later. I will make a whole video about this paper, but just know that we will be asking for 15 hours from you. So maybe start thinking about some ideas early on. I will also be posting about events that are going on around in campus or down in Denver. I also live in Fort Collins, so there's some local opportunities up here if any of you feel like coming up here and helping volunteer. But like I said, I'll get into that more in another paper, but as you read through the syllabus, you will see that there will be a part of your paper. So you will do the 15 hours of community service, and then you will be asked to write a reflection paper, and part of that paper will be documenting that you did complete those hours. So just be aware of that. We'll talk more about it moving on into the weeks ahead, especially early on in the semester. So another big portion of your grade is the literature review, and I think this is the part of the class that can tend to be most intimidating for students. And that's understandable. It is a big paper, and if you have never written a literature review before, it can be quite challenging. But I am here to help you along the whole process, and I kind of view this as taking, just a chance at a literature review, giving it your all and seeing what happens. Our literature review needs to be focused around some sort of global topic that we have talked about in the class. And so you do have quite a bit of time to come up with a topic. And once you come up for a topic, that will be part of your participation points, is to submit a topic to me, and I will be able to give you feedback about that topic. So, and then after that, we will have rough drafts and the final, of course, literature review paper that will be turned into me. But I will be willing to help you along the way. And like I said, there will be a completely separate video regarding the literature review as well. So just honestly, don't worry about the literature review right now, except knowing that it's coming up later in the semester. We will tackle it together, I promise. And this just goes over the class activities and discussions. That's the same as the class participation up here. I don't know exactly why it's repeated twice, but there's only 50 points of it. So you can see here is the breakdown of the points for the class. Definitely take a look at that more in detail. And here, of course, is our grading scale. So our grading scale is out of 300 points. So those little 50 points of, participation, even if they're just a couple points a week, really do add up. So do try to keep on top of that. And then we go into a little bit about critical thinking and writing from Dr. Espinosa. Definitely take a look at this as well. And now we get to the tentative course schedule, which is what will help guide you throughout the whole semester. So this goes by week, saying what will be due and what we'll be covering that week. So you can see, let's look at week 2, for instance. What the topic will be covering is the cultural nature of human development and learning, and it will be required for you to read chapter 1 of Gardner and chapter 1 of Rogoff. And then there'll be class activities and discussions for you to participate in. So what's really nice about an online class is you kind of have that ease to read when you want to. The hard thing is that you do need to read, because I'm not up there in front of you, in front of a lecture, going over every piece of information from that book or that textbook. So it's very important for you to keep on top of your readings. If that becomes challenging at any point in the semester, definitely reach out to me and I can give you some tips on how to stay on top of your reading. And then as far as class activities and discussions, most of the time I will have discussions due by the end of that week, Sunday at midnight. So we look at our weeks at starting on Mondays and ending on Sundays, the following Sunday. So most assignments I give you the whole entire week to do, but please do not procrastinate, because for the smaller point discussions and activities that are only worth about 3 to 5 points, I won't accept any of them being late. So definitely try to get it done sooner rather than later, but you do have the weekend to work on things if needed. So as you go through here, you will see that I have pieces highlighted that I think are the most important, assignments that will be coming up. So we have the exams, we have the topic for the literature review. See, the topic for the literature review isn't even due until the end of February, so you have some good time to think about it. The rough draft for the literature review exam, final draft, and then the service learning project is due at the very end of our semester. So take a look at all of that. We'll definitely delve deeper into everything. I don't want to overwhelm you guys too early on in the semester. And then if you would like, you can take a little bit of a closer look at what the literature review will be entailing. And yeah, that pretty much covers it. So please reach out to me at my email address if you have any specific questions about this syllabus. Hope I covered it well enough for you all just to start in the beginning of the semester, and hopefully I didn't intimidate you too much. I'm very happy to have you all here, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Have a good one.